Hello, I am Devin, the Draconic Elf. In my last video, I mentioned dream interpretations and how to use your intuition to interpret your dreams. I mentioned the Linwell's Complete Dream Interpretation 1000+ book, this one, which, in my personal opinion, is a pretty good starter that has a lot of definitions. Call them a definition? Not really. But it has a lot of interpretations of different dreams. It has a lot of interpretations of different things that can happen in a dream. So let me give you an example of how I personally would interpret a dream using this book, or any kind of interpretation book in general, or the thing that you could find online, or literally anything that has, well, this means this, dreaming about this is this. So, when you're gonna want to look up what your dream means, you're not going to look up what every single thing means altogether. You can't be like, okay, what does it mean when I'm dreaming about a snake trying to eat my child, but I smash it with a hammer, but then it comes back and haunts me as a zombie snake? You can't look that up. What you're going to have to do is look up, what does a snake meaning? Okay, why child being harmed or a person being harmed? Look up the meaning of a child if you can't find that child being harmed. Look up a hammer, look up killing, look up undead or zombie or coming back to life. You have to look up all those things individually. And then what you're going to do from there, I would look them up chronologically and when they appear in the dream. And then what you're going to do is write it all down, each individual one. So like snake, this. Someone being hurt, this. What does a child mean? This. What does the hammer mean? This. What does the undead coming back to life zombie thing mean? This. And then what you're going to do, after you have that all written out, you're going to read each individual thing cohesively together, and then you're going to apply that to your dream. So what other little details happen in the dream? The snake is eating your child. So, snake, person being harmed, child. Apply the child meaning to the person being harmed meaning, and then apply that being eaten by a snake. So it sounds complicated. It's really not. You just have to kind of know how to put things together. It's kind of like when you're doing a tarot reading. So you have the Ace of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles, sure, kind of thing. So it's like, okay, abundance is coming, duality, choices, a fight, perhaps, stuck at a crossroads or something like that, and then teamwork. So it's like, okay, cool. What the hell does that mean? Put it together. That's what you have to do with dream interpretations. You have to put it together. So you find each individual meaning of the things that happen in your dreams, the main, like, events, obstacles, things. You find every single individual meaning, put it together, apply it, figure it out. You're not going to be able to find exactly what it means. Sometimes you can find, like, specific things in ounce to where it's like, okay, I'm stabbing myself with a knife. You can find the meaning of specifically that sometimes. Or finding, instead of just a knife, it specifically being a bloody knife, but it hasn't been used or something. You can find very specific meanings, but you're going to have to go on a Google hunt for that. However, I would personally say find all the individual meanings. So if it is a knife that has blood on it that hasn't been used, go to what a knife means in your dream. Go to what blood means in your dream. Find that, write down the, like, things that pop to you and things that in your personal intuition tells you, like, oh, a knife to me means this, blood to me reminds me of this. Because not every person has the same meaning of blood. They don't. So, say you have a family member that has cancer and you've seen them bleed a lot. To you personally, blood is going to remind you of cancer. But to another person, blood could just mean, oh, I pricked myself, or oh, I'm losing blood. Like, it just depends on what your personal circumstances are. So you always have to go and figure it out yourself. So, like, especially when you're dreaming about a person, if you're dreaming about another person, say like an ex or something, you have to keep in mind that relationship you had with that ex. And also, depending on what type of role the ex plays in your dream, you need to figure out whether or not you're dreaming about a positive thing with the ex. Then you need to think about, okay, why am I thinking about this? Maybe you were missing having that kind of positivity in your life. You're not necessarily missing the ex. Trust me. Usually, if that ex wasn't a good thing for you, you're not missing the ex. You're dreaming about one person over and over again, it's usually not because like they're thinking of you or you're missing them or something like that. There's usually a deeper meaning. Now, there are times where you kind of can just discard, oh, it was just a weird dream. But if to you, you think and you're like, wait, that dream was weird. And something in your heart or your gut, whichever one is your intuition, tells you that means something. There's something deeper here. Then you dive in and you figure it out. I hope this helps in some way, shape, or form. I know I didn't really explain exactly how to do it. I did, but it's also still up to you to figure it out and put one, like basically put two and two together. Put the one and the one, put it together, make the two, and go, ah, that's what that dream meant. It's still very much so up to you, but you have a basis. Find each individual thing in the dream, find the meaning and the interpretation of that, and then figure it out, put it all together, bing, bang, bong. It seems much harder than it is, I promise. Once you start to actually physically sit down, write it all out, see it visually in front of you, and then you start basically like, you know, in elementary school, secondary school, maybe even middle school, where your teacher tells you, you're going to write a story about a dog, a giraffe, and an elephant. And that's your prompt, but it's not necessarily a prompt of like, a dog walks to a park, or a dog walks through a zoo, sees an elephant and a giraffe, what else happens? Which was like a normal prompt, but instead of that, you get just keywords that you have to put into your story. Essentially, when you're interpreting a dream, that's kind of what you're doing. You're finding each individual thing, what they mean, and then you're putting that all together chronologically, how it happened in your dream, into the story of what happened in your dream with the meanings attached. Essentially is what you're doing. I really hope that makes sense, because it makes sense to me. I hope I'm helping some of you. I digress. Thank you for watching. Give it a likey look and a subbity rub. Pretty please. Have a nice day.